And we live. Hey, welcome to another episode of Sleazy Sports. And today I'm joined by my fellow United uh, spectator, Lamek. How's
Comprado.
it, my G?
I'm good at
How's it,
yourself, dog. How you
King?
been?
No, it's good to be a United fan nowadays, dog. I mean, you know, I pretty
Hey, it's the
much
first time
have been.
I'm even seeing that kid. Hey, I want to my kid from.
No, dog, not even, dog. I always wear the shirt compared to I got this Pella. This was from the Louis Van Gaal era, dog. Remember when we switched to Adidas for the first time?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. So it's been around, bro, and it's still
Yeah,
in a
boy, it's
good
still even
condition, I
clean,
must
okay.
say.
It's just been collecting
Yeah.
dust.
I mean, I take care of my stuff, Lamek, bro. Like I take care of my stuff. I've got like a lot of jerseys, and I've had them for more than like 6, 7 years, but they're still in a good condition because I make sure that I treat my stuff right. But when were you on leave? Were you working?
Bro, I've been working throughout. So it's the first December that I worked throughout. The only
Yeah,
one I did was during lockdown. And lockdown was fine because we're like all at home,
yeah,
like no expectations. But this was the first one where I actually went to the office on a daily basis. Yeah, and it was back, dog.
yeah,
I think I'm gonna take leave like early Feb or something, like 5 days nyana right now, Kate.
yeah. I know
Wena?
likewise. I mean, I've been working throughout, Mpana, and it's been lit, dog. Usually
Yeah.
Decembers aren't that hectic, but this time around it's been crazy. But I'm gonna make sure, Nami, around Feb, I take time off, I sleep, and yeah, dog. But anyway, dog, let's jump into the topic at hand. We are talking about our club, our very great club, Manchester United, and of course, what's recently happening in our club. So I just wanted us to start from after what again? The World Cup, bro. Like when I know the fixtures were relatively easy, but did you believe that we would win all these fixtures, bro? Because in previous years,
But you
yeah,
see, that's the thing though. Like, I want even a game like Azol against Bournemouth.
yeah,
Last season, that's a game we're drawing 2-2, or it's 2-1, we're trailing, and we score like in the last minute or like 9 minutes, and then we draw and we celebrate a draw because it would have been a loss. You know, it would have never been a 3-0 routine win in
yeah,
any of the previous seasons. You know what I mean? Especially the
yeah,
game, yeah. Especially like the Wolves game is also another one. 1-0
yeah,
away at Wolves. Like, nah, dog. Not our United. Our United would have been 2-1 against Wolves, or 1-0. They would have scored first. We would have either equalized and then maybe late winner or something, but it would have not been as routine as these games have been. Apart from the Wolves game, the other ones have been fairly routine in the sense of obviously we've had like one or two goals, breathing space, being able to play out the game. Only the Wolves game was the one where like, oh, if these guys get a chance
yeah.
anytime, it could be a problem.
Yeah, and that's true because with Wolves, it's one thing I noticed is that they had the possession, but we created way more chances than they did. I mean, Ganacho had an opportunity. Yes, it was a mistake on Wolves' end, but we have to capitalize on that. We can't just, let them stay in the game and miss opportunities like that. Because I felt against Wolves, it's the free kick by Neves as well as the header with the hair made that world class save. Those were the two clear chances that Wolves had. But other than that, they
But
had the
also,
ball,
though,
but
like,
they
I
didn't
don't
do
know if you
anything to
remember,
us.
even in seasons that have passed, other teams have
Yeah.
only needed like one or two opportunities
Correct. Yeah,
for
no,
them to
that's right.
score. And because Nati we were also like scoring one or two goals. So in seasons gone past, we would have scored that one goal, but one of those teams would have needed like at least one shot or two shots, and they would have equalized or beaten us. So
Oh, no,
it's not
that's
like
true.
in the past it's taken like 10 or 15 shots opportunities for people to beat us. It's taken literally one or two. And it's just because
That
we don't create enough for us to score the one or two goals to equalize or three goals to win the game.
Yeah. But another thing is, bro, is our defense. I mean, our defense has been very solid under Eric Ten Hag. I feel like that's somewhere that's an area where I could say that we've improved drastically. Look at Luke Shaw for one. Luke Shaw, I've been beefing with Luke Shaw ever since we signed him. I've always had an issue with Shaw. I've always thought he was overrated. But this season, Luke Shaw looks different.
Bro, I've seen the potential that Luke Shaw, but I felt like he never fulfilled his potential. And after he broke his leg, I think he was never the same person. Remember that season after, I think with the Mourinho years, he broke his leg. From that point, he's never been the same Luke Shaw. Because in the past, like he'd have a good 1 or 2 seasons or something, or first 10 games or 15 games. Like he was like you could see the potential, but he never lived up to the potential. And for me, the fact that like he's comfortable playing even a center back for like 2 games, keep Maguire on the bench, that shows you with how confident he is. I mean, Wan Bissaka, but like, I mean, he's not. We've all got our problems, Wan Bissaka, but like the past 2-3 games that he's been playing, he's been decent. He's pulled in a shift. He's been a good backup. Like it doesn't look like. I'm even surprised that look, and like I think now it's also his decision making. Like he knows where he's struggling, so he doesn't put himself in opportunity. Like he doesn't cross much. Instead of crossing, he'll pass the ball back or whatever. He doesn't do stuff where he knows what he's weak at.
Yeah, no, that's true. I fully agree with you with that. And I mean, it all goes down to coaching, Lemik. I mean, it all boils down to coaching, understanding your role and understanding which positions you need to take up. I mean, when you look at even Shaw's goal, bro, like that's a team goal. When last did you see a team goal for Man United? It's been a
and he started it from our half. From our half, he goes through Upasa and then he finds space. Bruno passes Garnacho crosses back in. Yeah.
And then you see, and that's and it's not like we were playing on the break there. We just opened up Bournemouth. And even for this third goal, we opened them up again. Luke Shaw again. That cross to Bruno for me. The pass before the assist, I feel like a lot of the times we tend to not talk about that.
The pre-assist.
The pre-assist. Yeah, and for me, that like when you look at players like Abu Xavi and Iniesta, the reason why their numbers weren't so high is because they always were the ones that were supplying the pre-assist.
They were doing a pre-assist, yeah.
That pre-assist made the goal. It made things so easy for Bruno. Credit to Bruno for holding his run as well, because I mean, we've seen Darwin Núñez go offside constantly, and but like there, Bruno stayed on side, and then he returned the ball so perfectly to Rashford. And yeah, man, it was.
But the one thing I also like and I commend, and I'm seeing Guti, it's becoming a team effort. It's like, Bruno could have been selfish at 2-0 up. After score one. The fact that he had the presence of mind to look up and pass a teammate, like those little things actually count a lot, because Konama player, like Bruno especially, like, he was big about his stats, his numbers in. Like, I was quite surprised, okay, because when I saw him go in space, I thought, like, okay, this guy's going to shoot. The fact that he passed, I mean, you see, there are other players where you'd expect, like, they would pass, because, like, an Ozil would probably pass through, Odegaard would probably pass through, and Eriksen maybe would pass through. Mara Bruno's not known when he's in that area to give a simple pass that for another player. So there's a lot of things you can see in the background that are also like rubbing off to the players now as well. I think people are realizing the more team effort like this. It's not about who's getting the goals or Uban getting the assist. It's about the team collectively going forward.
And that's what I've been crying for years. Part of the reasons why we were so successful under Fergie is because we were playing as a unit. Even players like John O'Shea, Darren Gibson, Fletcher, these are not small-class players. Wes Brown. You see what I'm saying? Those men used to perform because we used to play as a unit. And that's what's pretty much happening with our team, is that one thing I've noticed is that we're playing as a unit. Mentally, the guys understand the assignment. And at the same time, man, the signings, bro, like I feel like all our signings have improved the way we play.
But we've had luck, like we can't even deny. Like, I mean, the fact that Sharp, the signings have been good. I mean, Eriksen on a free, like that's I mean, it's one of those where it's one in a million. You know what I mean? Eriksen, and then you also get Umalasia, who literally has transformed Osho. because
You
if we
see,
don't bring in Malatsi, because remember Malatsi Maracala, he was starting, Shaw's in the bench,
yeah,
So he's pushed Shaw to be the person that he is right now. Um,
yeah,
Real Madrid were able to sign like a whole new midfield, which opened space for us to get a Casemiro, you know what I mean? So,
yeah,
I mean, you don't usually get a peak player from Madrid coming to another team unless Real Madrid is like, I just Katele, or they just don't feel that you surplus the requirement, At your prime, people like about Ozil left because they're like, Sharp, you can go. About Odegaard, like, dog, he's still 23, 24. You haven't broken into the team, go make it somewhere else, you know what I mean? So for us to get a Casemiro who's still big, I mean, I'm seeing other facets of him because I mean at Real Madrid I only saw
yeah,
one side of him. There was only just
yeah.
one side. It was just sweeping, being whatever. Whereas at United, I'm seeing it's basically like yeah, two when he was at Barcelona and when he came to Manchester
Yeah,
City. Dog, like I only
correct.
saw one side of Yaya Toure when he was at Barcelona. When he came to Manchester City, he was
Yeah,
getting goals. He was becoming a different player. So I've been very, very surprised of Casemiro. And then
yeah.
what's his other signing? I think Anthony. Anthony is sort of well,
Mm.
but I think it's got on a dip of 4 months. Like it's just dipping, which is not bad, but I just feel like it's good in the sense that like now we just need squad depth. And
Yeah.
that's our problem that we have right now at United. I was just thinking about it before we came now. I was like, yo, yes, we are like 2 or 3 injuries, not even dog, we are Casemiro injury away from a McFred,
Dude,
you
me
know?
too, bro.
And that
Like, and that's what I fear. Yeah.
Even De Gea, dog. If De Gea gets injured tomorrow, Dubravka's gone back to Newcastle. Like we are stuck. One, who's our goalkeeper? Who's our second goalkeeper? Heaton or
Can't
something.
we
One,
bring back? Yeah, it's Heaton, and Heaton is a timer. Yo,
you know
Heaton
what I
is
mean?
cash. I'm fit.
So
Yeah.
we and that's where we are
Mm.
different between in Manchester City. City's got like 2 players for each position. So as much as if Rodri becomes injured or whatever, the replacement is still good enough, and they're on par. So yes, we probably can't get the right players or the players that he wants, Manj and Jan. But I mean, I think it's something that needs proper dressing to like it has backup. Like we need a proper like even that guy was
Yeah.
Argentina that we had before. Like that guy was quite good. Romero.
Martinez.
No,
Romero.
Romero.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Romero was a good number 2. We need someone like that who's gonna be good enough, and not or be comfortable enough to be on the bench, and not play a lot. Play Guma Cup games, you know what I mean? So Dubravka was
Yeah.
good enough, for that thing. So I don't know what's gonna happen there. I mean, if the hair gets injured at Sasa, we are in a pickle.
Yeah.
I
Because
don't
I
know.
mean,
That
at
guy
least.
from Nottingham Forest, does he want to come back, dog? Does the guy want to come back?
While he is, he's still signed under us. I mean, if you sign under us, if you say
Lukaku
come
still
back,
signed
you
at
just
Chelsea,
come
bro.
back.
But do you see Lukaku play for
Yeah.
Chelsea ever again?
Well, Lukaku is trash, bro. That's the difference between
No,
Heaton
it's not
and
about
Lukaku.
trash. I'm just talking about like what they've done and the way they've carried themselves.
Yeah, I mean,
And
Lukaku was
Lukaku,
beefing with Tuchel though.
no, I get you,
So
but Lukaku signed with
yeah,
Chelsea for like 2025 or 2026. But I don't see that
yeah.
guy ever playing for Chelsea ever again. So it's the same thing
Hey,
with that guy now. He was in Nottingham Forest. Like I just feel like the way he's just gone out and spoken
mm,
about the club and how he just is not happy. I feel like
mm.
the guy just wants to leave.
Yeah. I mean, I for one, I'm not too sure of the situation there. Hopefully Ten Hag can rectify it because from a man management standpoint, he's
He's
shown
been
that
good.
he's very good. He's been very solid in man managing the players, and even with what's happening with Jadon Sancho, him playing in the Netherlands. It's like remember in Dragon Ball Z when Goku went into what again the hyperbolic time chamber, there where Kami Shandi's is situated, and after he came out of that chamber, he's now Super Saiyan 3. So I think that's what's gonna happen to Sancho as well. I just trust the manager so much, man. I just feel like he has everything under control with the little backing that he's receiving because I feel like the board hasn't been backing him fully. He's done an exceptional job, in my opinion. I mean, we third. We fourth, but level on points with Newcastle, and we have a game
Yeah.
in hand. You see, who would have
And a
thought,
point
bro?
behind City.
Bro, who would have thought that would be there, man? And the
Especially
way we
after the
play.
first 2 games, I mean, we lost the first 2 games.
Oh man, Pele Bright. What is this? Brentford when they gave us 4, bro. I was like, okay, this is gonna be a long season. Welcome to the Premier League moment for Ten Hag. But Ten Hag was like, you know what, I'm cool, calm, and collected. I'm experienced. I've been through this. I've been through hardships. I can handle such situations, and he turned things around. I mean, look where we are now. We're just moving in silence in Manchester United. No one is paying attention to us at all. You know, everyone is paying attention to Arsenal at the moment, which is good. Like, let them pay attention to Arsenal. Let the pressure all be there. Tina, let us stay in our lane. You know, and I think things will get better. You know, and speaking of uh we're talking about depth, right? Did you see you Donny van der Beek, bro? That injury, dog. Like, ish,
Bro.
man.
That's like I remember the last game he played. I think that's
Yo,
the game we lost. We lost 3-1. It was Aston Villa. And
yeah,
Izolo, like I was like, you know what? Like I just hope Uti, even if we win
mm,
scruffy, like can the guy just get like 80 minutes or 70 minutes just for
yeah,
confidence, just for him, Gutinje, just to feel himself again, And I think Ten Hag probably did it on purpose to even like play Bruno wide because he could have played
yeah,
Garnacho and played Bruno in the middle, but he opted to put Bruno, I mean, Donny number 10 and move
yeah.
Bruno
Bruno
to
to
the
the
thing. So, angazi Joe, but I mean, we're playing two cup games, so I hope it's like a precautionary thing where for himself, or maybe Usenade told him, "Good dog, you know what, Beggar? I'm giving you this game, and I'm gonna give you like two cup games as well." Maybe they spoke
yeah,
before. Was okay. I'm giving you this game to get yourself into form for the two cup games. And maybe now he
yeah,
thought like, you know what? Let me not risk the two games that I'm probably gonna play.
uh-huh.
This is just me speculating or something. But it looked bad. It did look bad. It did look bad.
Yeah,
But
you have extended it.
yes. So
Yeah,
I'm happy that he probably. I hope it's not as bad as it looked.
yeah.
But yeah. Yeah. So it definitely in midfield is bad, dog.
Yo,
But I'm liking the fact that as Oguti, we have not seen it's like a breath of fresh air. Dog McTominay, we have not seen him like in such a long
yeah.
time. You know,
We
no,
have
no,
it.
I'm not saying it in a bad way. I'm just saying with like now the cup games are coming. Now it's their time to like show what's okay, sharp as in I can
Uh-huh.
be a team player. You know, I mean Ilanga as well. There's a time when the kid was playing every game, Akala,
Yo,
and that used to
dog.
frustrate. Like I could not. Like it
Yeah,
just used to irritate with like how are we
yeah,
starting Ilang, Now he's coming in, and when he comes in, you can see he's just coming in just to stretch the team. He's coming in for the pace.
yeah.
He's not there to do anything else. I don't even think there's expectations much from him. It's just a matter of like as in Hambalapana with your pace and stretch defense. And that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's true, bro. I fully agree with you. You know, like our ops are beginning to sit on the bench. I'm still waiting for a player to come in to make Bruno sit on the bench because he's also my other op. But I kind of understand why he's in the team. He's especially off the ball. He's got the energy. He's got the legs. You know,
You know what
that's
my
pretty
issue
much they're using him for. Yeah,
my issue with Bruno, he loses the ball a lot.
yeah,
Angazi, you must notice that thing. Izolo,
yeah.
I think there's at least one or two where they could have scored and like needless things. Like he'll do a backflip, not a backflip, I mean a back pass, and you're like, bruh, it's not necessary. Or if we flicker with his like his outer
Mm,
foot to a player, you're like, dog, simple pass. We're leading 1-0,
yeah.
like it's not necessary, you know what I mean? So that's one of my biggest concerns with Bruno, with he just doesn't keep the ball. But I think he's
Yeah,
improved because like Nama used to be very um opinionated by him. But I also see
yeah,
Guti, there's no one better than him at the moment. Because Donny, for
yeah,
whatever reason, things are just not happening for him. So
yeah.
Bruno is we're getting the best out of him. But I do feel that he's not going to be a long-term solution. And if he does stay at United long-term, I feel like he'll be more of a
Yeah.
squad player, or
Yeah.
he'll be used like Abo Park, where he'll be like, okay, Sharp, this
Yeah.
particular game, we need a particular person to do whatever. He'll be used as that person. But for now, we don't have the depth or the luxury for 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 us to do things like that. So right now he's starting and he's doing well. And like I'm saying, when I was like, he's not having the Bruno Fernandes season when he first came to United or the first two seasons when he was getting goals and assists. And that's what I was so impressed about him is Ologuti. He could have gone for the goal just to bring
Yeah.
stats or just stat play or whatever. But for him to pass the player, especially tuning up, just showing Muguti, what, there's
Uh-huh.
different they yeah, like the people they all pulling in the same direction.
True. They're all moving as one, bro.
Yeah.
And even with Rashford, I mean, we also have been very critical of
Yo, yeah,
Rashford. I
nah.
mean,
But I mean, like,
uh,
I'll put my hands up,
yeah,
ne? Like,
yeah,
I'm still not the
yeah.
biggest Rashford fan, but
Same
and
here.
and and I think he's got his flaws. Um,
Yeah,
but he's doing well. So I think Rashford is still a great player, but I think Rashford in the next season or 2 seasons, where we would like to be with Ten Hag, I would like him to still be part of the squad, not him starting. You know, and I think if he is part of the squad and he's still got the same form that he has now, then
mm,
we will be 5 steps ahead. Like, we'll be a better team. Because my issue with Rashford, I just feel like he just shoots, like he's not technical, he's not a technical player. He's just very
yeah,
fast, you know,
yeah.
and he's
And
very programmed. Like he
yeah,
doesn't. I want like there's players like Abo Sancho, like look, that goal he scored against Liverpool, like that was
yeah,
very off cue. He passed the ball, he just like he could do that in his sleep. Someone like Rashford, I feel like he has to be on high confidence for him to pull that off.
yeah.
Sancho, he could be away for like 10 games and you put in that position and he probably does a thing, bread and butter, and he scores a goal.
Yeah, no. From a composure standpoint, that's where I feel like with Rashford, there's improvements though. Like
No, there's been a lot of improvement, a
yeah,
lot of
there's been a
improvement,
lot of improvements in
and
his game.
his confidence also getting better. I mean, I remember the one game going up, I think, like 5 or 6 shots on targets, and he
Yeah,
didn't score that game or something. But my issue with that, like, he just shoots straight. Like, I play the
yeah,
ball. I want to go out like I was done, and he'll play seal. So that's my issue with Rashford. Like, I was to play sir, or maybe I play sir,
yeah.
like, you know what I
It's
mean? But
yeah,
as a squad player, he's fucking great. And right now his form's good, so we have to commend him.
yeah.
And I'll put my hands up and say, "Good, you know what? He's proven me wrong." But yeah, I still have
Mhm.
my issues with him. But for right now, he's delivering, and I think he's a
I
top
know.
goal scorer as well.
Yeah, he's got 7 goals. Yeah. He's our top goal scorer. He's got 7 goals in the league. I mean, that's an area that I feel like United we lack. Let's go to the cons. Okay, before we start off with the attack, defensively, I don't want to see Harry Maguire and Lindelof ever again playing together. I'd rather have Lindelof and Alessandro, or Lindelof and Varane, or you know what I mean. They can't play together in my opinion, because yesterday, yes, it was a 3-0 win, but De Gea had to make a few world-class saves, to ensure that he keeps that clean sheet. And I mean, if we're playing against a team like a
That's more
Brentford, for
clinical.
instance, that's like Brentford is more clinical. Like out of the small teams, I'd say Brentford is one of the most clinical teams. I
Yeah,
won't speak of Newcastle, because Newcastle are now in another tier now. They're no longer a team that are deemed as a small team. But Ivan Toney in those situations, chances are he buries them. But fortunately, we were playing against a team that is
yeah.
very low on
Nakulale out here,
confidence.
with Anthony. Anthony could have scored at least
Yeah,
2 goals.
you
At
see,
least 2 goals.
exactly.
Like
2 goals,
2 shots,
exactly.
just passed it to here, basically. Just did side like a routine
Yeah,
training ground save.
yeah, that's true. And yeah,
If Lobka like Varane, because I was quite surprised Guti he didn't play as well. Is he injured? Like I don't know what's going on there, or is he
nah,
being rested?
yeah, I think Ten Hag is trying to rotate, bro. Because I mean, we're playing on Friday, then we play again on, I think, midweek. We play Carabao Cup,
Yeah, we're
which is a
playing two
cup.
cup games. We're playing two
Yeah,
cup games in the league.
it's
Yeah,
FA Cup. Yeah, it's FA Cup on Friday. I think Tuesday is Carabao, and then Saturday we play Man City.
yeah.
So games are coming in thick and fast.
Thick
This
and thin.
January is gonna be very, very, very tricky, and
It is.
and our squad, like we said, is very thin. We don't have the depth that Man City has. And so I think yesterday when I saw the starting lineup, I was a bit concerned with Lindelof and Maguire, because those two don't complement each other. Maguire has his mistakes. Lindelof isn't strong when he's faced with a player who's physical. So I, for one, thought that was a con that we need to, of course, rectify. And as
Okay.
well, man, scoring, man, we only have 7. Yeah, our goal difference is +7, bruh. I mean,
And it kind of cool, man. It kind of cool like, in this
Yeah,
streak of 7 games. Like I think in the past, it's because we haven't been scoring like more than 2 goals a game, you know. But okay, Sharp,
yeah.
with the squad depth thing, I think the only place where I feel confident is our defense. You know, we've got
Yeah.
Malasia and Shaw.
Mm-hmm.
Juan Bissaka looks like is a okay player as a squad player with Dalot
Yeah.
coming back now. And then we've got Martinez, Varane,
Sancho. Yeah.
and then Lindelof. Yeah, but Lindelof, you're right. Lindelof needs to play with either or.
Yeah. He
Varane
needs to
or
be.
Martinez. Yeah, he can't play. But another issue,
Mm-hmm.
we can't both play Lindelof and Martinez. I think they're both short and it just becomes whatever. But I get what you're
Yeah.
saying. And then,
Yeah.
but I feel like end of season, Maguire might leave. You know,
Which is fine. Which is
no, no,
perfectly
no,
fine.
no, but which is very good. But I'm just saying, Wuti, right
Yeah.
now I can't see him going anywhere, and even then, I can't see us loaning him anywhere as well. You know, so the only trick is that which team does he go to? Because I feel like he's also one of those players like, you know what, I'm Manchester United captain. I can't go from Manchester United to like an
Burnley.
yeah type of thing, you know.
Yeah. I
So
can't.
I think it's one of those where it has to be also like a good move for him, where he's like, you know what, like if let's say Newcastle for whatever reason saw something in him and they're like, you know what, I'm phone.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying hypothetically, then you'll be like, you know what, okay, Sharp, I can do that move, you know. So, but now I think for his own career, um, he might move because I mean the past 2 games, the show's been starting ahead of him. I mean, if
Yeah.
a left back is starting ahead of you, which probably means Guti, if Izolo, if Malasha was playing, you might find Guti Shomada playing centre back again Izolo as well. So, I
Yeah.
mean, he's gone down the pecking order of centre backs at United, you know. But anyway, so
Yeah.
I think that, yeah, central defense might be a part of us. And then
Yeah.
midfield, I think we are very we lacking. In midfield, we only got a starting
Yeah.
lineup. That's it.
Yo. Yeah. And I always say, man, the
Casemiro,
midfield. Yeah.
it's
I
just
was gonna
Casemiro,
say,
Eriksen, no Bruno. That's it.
yeah, because the other guys I don't rate at all that highly, and we really need to sign like proper midfielders. I for one want us to. You see, Ericsson shouldn't be starting, in my opinion. Yes, he's a good player, but for us to take it up a notch, Ericsson needs to come off the bench. Same thing with Bruno. That's us
But
taking it a gear up. If we can
yeah,
get midfielders
but
that
that will
are,
probably be like next season or 2 seasons from now.
yeah,
Right now,
I
there's
know,
no one better than them. You know, it's the
yeah,
same thing like Rashford, where we're saying, Guti, in 2 seasons' time, Rashford should be part of the squad, but not starting, coming off the bench to impact, or it's like the
yeah,
Champions League and we're playing FA Cup, whatever. Then he can, you know what I mean? He can do second
yeah,
fiddle, like someone even like a Martial, should be like a squad player at best.
exactly.
One of those guys.
That is so,
You know what I mean? So that's where our
yeah,
problem is. Anthony, I think he's still too young, he's still got to develop. I like what's happening with Sancho, and I like the fact that he's taken on board whatever suggestions Utenag has given him,
yeah,
because you could have been a guy like, nah, as in, Tech, I'm not gonna listen to you. Actually, I want to go
yeah,
out on loan and try to revive my career somewhere else, Whereas right now he's like, you know what, I'll do it. And he's just been taken away from the squad. And I think like Ten Hag can see the potential. He can see that's a player there that he can build long term with.
100%. And yeah, and even Diallo, bro. Diallo is killing it at Sunderland, bro. Yo, like he's killing it, bro. Like you see the left, you see the right hand side. I'm confident that they at least with Anthony and Diallo coming back, because Diallo looks amazing. And I mean, championship is not an easy league,
Yeah, because those guys
games
work
come
out
in
twice a
quicker.
week as well. It's like
Yeah,
2 games a
yeah.
week.
Yeah, and as well, Sunderland are sitting fourth, so they're in the playoff position. So it's not like he's down there. He's actually playing to try get this team up. And for a legacy standpoint, the fans from Sunderland are not gonna forget him should they gain promotion because of his form. And that will be a boost for us as well. That at least in Toana, we now know he can actually carry a team to promotion, which is it would be a very good feat for him. And to a
Yeah,
point where I know very well, even when we play Sunderland, if let's say hypothetically speaking, they gain promotion, if we play Sunderland, Diallo will be cheered by the Sunderland fans. You know, they'll be like, "Yo, dude, you actually helped us get to the Premier League again." You know, so for me, I'm happy to see Diallo do his thing. And another thing is Martial, is he injured, bro? Because yesterday he walked off.
you
Yeah,
know the thing with Martial, I think Martial's one of those
mm.
players where, as much as I'm a Martial FC fan,
Yeah,
I
same
think,
here.
yeah, I think I'm
Mm.
at a point now to accept what, you know what, guy cannot carry us
Yeah,
to the next tier. Like, as
yeah,
good as he is and as whatever, there's just always problem. Like, he'll be in good form and then he gets injured. Or it's like,
ish.
like right now, United basically gave him with Ntwanazin, you are number 9. They gave him on a platter with,
Yeah,
this is you.
yeah,
What do you have to do right now for us, you know? And there are games where he scores, but he's not doing it like a number 9 as a Manchester United should be. You know, if you're comparing him to like a Haaland, you know, which are the guys you're
or
supposed to compare
hey,
him to, because those are the guys who are also leading their teams. And mind you,
yeah,
still got Alvarez, you know, who I think Alvarez is
ish.
also fucking top
Yeah,
player, you know. So yeah, but I think though, and I don't know what happened with the Gakpo deal, man. Like I just don't know if it was us being lazy or us just weighing it out or whatever. But the one thing I'm also liking about Ten Hag, he's not rushing into buying any player. You know, he's
thank
not
you.
panic buying. Like he's not panic buying, and even the players that he has bought, all of them have made a difference. I know one Ongasho Guti has not made a difference. Sharp, maybe some
Mhm.
of different form, like Anthony. Malasia also maybe can say, but also Malasia you probably could say Guti is just that Shaw has just gotten better. He probably hasn't been worse something. But anyway, all the guys is bought, they've all made a difference. And I think he's the only manager who has come in and actually brought in players that within the first half of the season have all done well. Like I remember Memphis when we got Depay under LVG dog. LVG played that guy every single game and he was struggling.
Yeah, he
You know,
was. He really
as much as
was.
he's starting Anthony right now and is not doing well, whatever, but Anthony was not doing as bad as what the Depay was. You know, quite a manager when they come, they bring their own player, and no matter how bad that player is, they will always play
Mhm.
him. You know,
No, that's so true, bro. That's so true. And you know, speaking of us bringing in players, bro, like I've been, of course, you know, United, we link with every single player, dog. I mean,
always standard.
Nagu PSL, bro. Even if it's a PSL player, bro, we'll still be linked to them. That Manchester United. But João Felix, do you think he would light up the theater?
Joao Felix, I'm a fan of him.
Mm.
As out here in Diski, you know, on the eye,
Mm-hmm.
he's a good player. I think though, I don't know, depending on what position he'll play at United, because that's the thing as well. Like Abo, people like Abo Dalo, they're not being good now because they were never good players or Abo Banbani. It's because of the system and how teams play and whatnot, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and what a manager sees in you. However, though, so I mean, like, so what I'm saying with that, with Felix, like, I don't, I mean, at any time, Ngampaya, because I think he's a baller, but I just don't know if he'll fit into Ten Hag's system. However, if Ten Hag brings him, I feel like then he'll definitely know why he's bringing him to the team. But Mina, I'll take that kid tomorrow. I love him.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
he's a good player.
Same here, bro. I also think he's a good player, and as well, he's like a Dennis Bergkamp type number 10. You know, yes, he's very skillful. He's very good at finishing, but at the same time, he's also very good at linking up play. He doesn't give away possession. He can dribble in tight spaces. You know, he can do the things that we expect Bruno to do. Because if you're playing as a number 10, those are like the basic things that a number 10 should be
Number
able
10
to
should
do.
do
Zhao can do that, you know, from ball retention standpoint. I think that would it would improve our team a lot, especially if we're playing against teams like your Man Cities of the world. You know, whenever they lose possession and we gain it, we're not gonna just give it up instantly. We're gonna still at least recycle it once or twice in Yana, you know, and even
that.
with us recycling, we will be moving forward with the ball. And so for me, Nami Ujao, I'm a huge fan of João Felix as
No,
well. I
I
think
love him.
he's
I
an
won't even lie.
exceptional player.
I don't know why he went to
Yeah,
get to commentate to begin with, but I think
yeah,
he's a great player.
yeah.
I don't know, but it seems like Uti Atletico are just being unrealistic with how much
The
they want
fee.
for his loan. I think it's like 15 mil or something plus his wages, which is just
Yeah,
crazy. Basically, it's like buying a player in essence, and it's
yeah,
just a loan, whatever. But I think he would improve us. If he came to United, I think it would also be played like a false nine. I think he wouldn't only play as a 10.
yeah,
But he would definitely improve us. I think he would definitely improve us. Um, I'd be keen. I'd be keen for him, but I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't know. I just don't.
yeah,
I just feel like one of
yeah.
those like what you say, Guti, United are always linked with everyone. If someone is doing something, they'll always
Mm,
mention United in the name, or they'll put us
yeah,
there. United as well.
yeah. Mina, personally, I think we're not gonna get okay. João Felix is a dream signing, so if we get him, it's like a Casemiro type situation.
Yeah.
We'll all be like, huh?
So once in
Okay,
a lifetime, yeah.
once in a lifetime. But I think we're gonna go for a stopgap. Right now, Lamik, we need numbers because I don't think we are challenging for the title. We're just trying
No, no,
to
no. We're not.
ensure we,
And
yeah.
I think as a
Mm,
realistic United fan, as much as we've won so many
mm,
games in a row, you mustn't not believe the hype, but I think don't get carried away. Um,
exactly.
because I as a fan, I find like with Arsenal,
Yeah.
if you spoke with
Yeah.
an Arsenal fan in the first game of the season this season, and you're like, what are your expectations? They probably like, nah,
Yeah.
dog, comfortably top four, or you know what I mean. That would have been
Yeah.
a realistic Arsenal expectation, considering what they've finished outside of top four for the past 2 or 3 seasons, like finishing sixth or something. So, but as the
Yeah.
season has progressed, the expectations have grown as well. You know what I mean? Like now they're number one, 9 points, and they're playing so well. It's easy as a fan to stage expectations to be much bigger. So Nati, as a United fans, it's easy for us now to be like, yo, we're only 9 points ahead behind Arsenal, we're only whatever. But
Yeah.
if we're being realistic, I think our goal for this season, and I think even Ten Hag's goal from the get-go was like, okay, has been just change what's going on, change the atmosphere, you know,
Thank
um,
you.
give us a bit of direction, and top four. I think that was minimum requirement,
Yeah.
But I feel like if
I
we can continue the way we're going now and just make top four,
yeah. I
that's
for
a
one
realistic expectation.
I don't think top four was in the picture in my opinion, bro.
No, no,
I I
as,
yeah, I'm just saying from a board standpoint.
but you see, that's us fans
Yeah.
now increasing our
Mm,
expectation as the season goes. So like Arsenal fans,
yeah.
now at the beginning of the season, they would have never been like, thought we title race. But as the season
Yeah.
has progressed, now as a fan, your expectations become more, and you also, you
Yeah.
wanna believe in the team as well.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like you covered the nitty gritty that I was gonna mention, like him changing the atmosphere, him changing the culture within the changing room, man management standpoint, implementing a system. I mean, to a point where now he's even taking over the under 21s. I mean, nowadays we see Abu Kobe Mainu. I'm not sure if you know Kobe Mainu. There's this 17-year-old who plays for our academy. Nice. For me, I think that kid, he's got some stardust in him. Udlali Six. Yeah, press resistance. I'll share a clip with you. It's just that unfortunately we can't watch it here because I mean I'll get flagged
Yeah,
if we
yeah.
play.
No, no,
Yeah,
no,
but
no, no, no.
I'll share you a few of his videos via WhatsApp, and then was Bonera and I was like, bro, that kid is nice,
So
and
is
he's
he
only
better than
17.
those other kids? Kona Leslie, there's that other one, Hannibal.
Abo, yeah, I think he's better than Hannibal personally. I think he is. I think he's also better than who's this lighty. I'd say him and Zidane Iqbal. It's just that,
Nyamboya Zidane
yeah,
Iqbal,
Iqbal, I think he's 18. Ne? Yeah, he's 18 years old, whereas Kobe is 17, so he's still a kid, Kobe. And I think since Ten Hag has decided to also take over the under 21s, he wants, you see, Ten Hag and Pep Guardiola, they're similar in a way, excluding them having Amachi Skop, Young Toiler.
yeah.
They, as far as them running, they respective clubs, they run them more fun. I don't see any difference because even with Man City can bring through a kid that we don't know. That kid will make it shake, like Foden. Foden came out of the blue.
Yeah.
Yeah. You see,
what that does though, and that's
yeah.
what I like, or what you're telling me, which is the fact that under 21, because like now, you know,
Yeah.
now he's able to also try and get the coaches in the academy to play a certain way, you know, which okay, this is what we look, this is how, you know, so it's easy also for Ntwana Guti if maybe someone gets Donovan the Big gets injured and we're playing League Cup and it's like, you know what, actually I can afford to take in 21 from the academy, maybe in Fage Benchin. You know, it's easy for him to put him in because he's seen the kid, you know, he's going to practice sometimes. Jota can tell if he needs to work maybe on his distribution or something, you know, or something like that, you know. So it's easier for them to also be part of the first team. It's good. I don't know about that, you know. I didn't know Guti is taking control of the under 21s as well.
Yeah, he has. And it's also good, bro, because we don't want the transition to be hectic, bro. It can't be from high school to varsity because you know that transition
Yeah,
is quite hectic.
especially the first semester.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? It needs to be that thing, oh, it's okay, we play this way as under 21s. Now I'm in the first team. It's just that maybe you with better players now. With your Casemiros of this world, you with your Rashfords of this world, you know. So the transition shouldn't be that hectic. And at the same time, man, you don't want your players, especially your academy players, to feel any pressure when they go to first team. You know, it should be that thing of okay, I understand what this guy wants me to do. You know, I'm just here to ensure that I add to the team.
And that's how a lot of players. Sorry to cut you in.
Yeah.
Like gradually get into the first team quicker because I want like I'll give you an example in Liverpool. Liverpool, when Keita hasn't like really set the fireworks in, but like there's not a lot of expectation. Like there hasn't been a lot of pressure in him because there's a lot of players around him that are delivering as well. So if if the whole team is doing bad, then people will single out like a Pogba, you know, Pogba gets singled out United because it's Pope, you know what I mean? But the whole team is not doing well. So when you get a good squad, you're able to integrate one player at a time in that first team, even if he doesn't do well, you know, like Liverpool's doing Carvalho. Like there's those kids in Liverpool are coming in now, exactly. I think
Elliot. Is it Elliot?
Elliot, you know,
Elliot,
they come in and they look like how these kids actually train in the first team. Like you're saying, it looks like he's been in the background all along, and they just took him from the, you know what I mean? So it becomes easier, and also it puts a less pressure on the kid. But like you can get like 10 games not playing well, it's fine. You get integrated, you're just being integrated in the team. So when the team does well, it's easy for you to put in those little players as well, like all those young players in the team, and then for them to gradually grow within the team. Whereas if you just put a young player and you're not doing well, they get singled out so quickly, and you know how fickle that media is and everything. Like, no, what was he doing? Why is he putting a 20? You know what I mean? Like, it just puts too much pressure on the player or the kid.
I know that's true. I fully agree with you on that, man. And so that's the nice thing, you know, from like as we were saying, you know, just to close off the expectation part of things. I, for one, didn't expect us to be in the position that we are in currently. I think he's exceeded my expectations because we're still in cup competitions. It's not like we win the quarterfinals of the Carabao. We're playing Charlton, so there's a high possibility that we'll be in semi-final. Bless you, by the way.
Thanks.
And then, and then on the same on like from a playing improvement, you know, that's something on my end I expected from him because of how he is such a man manager and a disciplinarian, you know, Ten Hag, you know, and that's one thing I like about him. How he handles CR7 situation was I commend him for that. For me,
I mean, even for him to drop Rashford this
week.
Like that was I mean, the fact that like he said, which in interviews, like I was late for like a team meeting or something like that, you know. He could have overlooked it because of the form that is in right now, you know, and how much we need his goals, you know. but he put him in there to show him, but he still gave him a chance second half. And then at the end, he went there and hugged him, and they both embraced each other. So it's not like love
Yeah,
loss or anything. It's like, what,
exactly.
Antoine, I can't do it to Ronaldo, not do it to, like, I need to be
Yeah.
consistent. And I think that's the one thing about him. Like, I think players now are seeing that, what, this kind of shit. Another thing I'm liking about United now is like things not getting leaked. So that Rashford thing we only
Yeah.
heard when he spoke about it.
Yeah,
In the past,
exactly.
with the Rashford's being dropped in. So like there's not a lot of things that are
Yeah.
leaving the train, the change room,
Yeah.
which is so fucking good. Because in the past, we were struggling with it. Like, we would know what Rashford behaved, you know what I mean? Like, it would have been a
Yeah.
big conversation already before the game. Had he not even mentioned it, had he just said with no Ntwana, I'm just playing him because maybe he looks, or he got a niggle and I'm playing second half. He could have said anything and we would have believed it. So I like that about that as well, with the fact that he's taking control of the change room again.
Exactly. And that's what's key. The key to success is the manager being able to do his job. More than anything, as a manager, that's your job. It's your duty to ensure that you take control of the change room and to call out nonsense. That's why CR7 fans, there's a lot of them out there who are, of course, upset. Yeah, but there's a lot more than them, who think that CR is bigger than the club, and that's not how it works. And what's surprising with CR7 fans, they forget that we had Ferguson. Ferguson operated the same way Ten Hag operates. I'm not saying that Ten Hag is Ferguson. No, I'm just talking about the from a disciplinary standpoint, that Kalistratulo Sara coach. David Beckham tried doing funny things. He got sold. Roy Keane and him.
And people at the peak, Gabriel Heinz,
the list exactly.
Endless.
These guys, it's like when Van Nistelrooy went to Real Madrid after United. He didn't go to a Popeye team. Heinz as well.
Heinz went to Real Madrid as well.
Yeah.
Beckham also went to Madrid, I think.
Madrid, exactly. So it just shows you that it's high time that we now go back to our old ways of having the manager be the one who calls the shots. And that's one thing I'm happy about at our club. Finally, we have a coach who has balls of steel, who I think even the change room, that's how they gain more respect for him with how he handled Ronaldo's situation. If that was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was going to allow
Ole would have never dropped him. Ole would have just laughed.
Yeah.
Like he would have. And not the fucking thing is like, then those media friends, Abo Banbani in the media would have backed him. Like the way these guys are so hypocritical, like they just flip flop and stuff. Like I'm seeing how much people are like praising Ten Hag, and I'm like, how you guys? This is something that out here when he was doing last season, like it was. Like, no, he's a legend, whatever,
Nah.
But anyway, I think we should never listen to the media. Like, English media is just very critical,
Yeah, some of these pundits, man, they very wishy-washy. They're not consistent in how they talk, and But as well, man, what was I gonna say? Last in closing. I for one, this is just a prediction. I'm making a prediction. I for one, I think we're gonna get a stopgap striker. A striker that we're not necessarily he's not necessarily what we want, but he's someone who's gonna be there to
carry us through all the way to the end of the season.
Season,
Ferguson, where he got
Larsson.
Henrik Larsson,
Henrik Larsson type situation. And I for one, I'm gonna say this live on my channel. I wouldn't mind us getting Memphis Depay back for 5 million. 5 million. He's got great link-up play. He's Dutch. He understands. I don't think he'll have crazy expectations as well. It's not like he's gonna be like, I want to be the highest paid player. I want to play certain amounts of minutes. He'll be more agreeable to what Ten Hag will want him to do. So I, for one, wouldn't mind getting back Depay. Him and Rashford have played together before, so it wouldn't be a crazy transition. That's just my opinion. But
Marouane Depay, has he ever played as an actual number 9?
he did for Lyon. He was
Was he like
playing as
playing
a
number
number
9,
nine.
number 9? I
Yeah,
don't know. I mean,
for Netherlands. I mean, he's 8 goals away from Van Persie's record, bro. I'm not sure
no.
if you're
Like
aware.
I also
Yeah,
don't. But Depay is a 5 mil loan or 5 mil to buy.
I think it's to buy. And it's just
Look,
5
dog. I
bar,
mean,
bro.
you are right.
5
I mean,
bar.
especially right now, with January, it's so difficult to get the right player.
Yo,
And the nice thing about Depay, like you're saying, if we get him for 5 mil and he does sign, he can still play across the front three. So it's not just
thank
limited to
you.
him playing as a center forward. He can play on the left, he
Yeah,
can play on the right. He'll be able to cover when someone like an Anthony's off form, or you know what I mean. He can play also on the yeah. So he'll be a good squad rotational player.
yeah,
In that sense, it does make sense.
yeah,
As for us, now I know we're gonna get a center forward, ne? Man,
yeah.
you know what? But as to who we're gonna get, I'm not sure. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised even if it's like someone like a Joru or something. I'm not saying we're gonna get him. I'm just saying like someone like that who's been around, someone who just knows, or at least you know what you're gonna get out of that player, basically.
Best believe. Sorry to interrupt you, but best believe it's gonna be someone that the fan base is not gonna like. It's gonna be someone that the fan base is not gonna like. But I just feel like I trust my manager. I just think Ten Hag knows what he's doing. So whoever he brings in, I think that person is gonna bring a lot. He's gonna bring something to the team, and so we'll just have to wait and see. Because right now the Glazers, they want to sell the club, and apparently they want to sell it.
When I saw the club, is it very? Is it? Like
Yeah,
I think I won't believe it once I see it.
I think we are, bro. I have a feeling that we are. I mean, the club is gonna be sold. It's just the Glazers, of course, are suiting for. They're looking for. They want a bidding war. At the end of the day, when you're selling something, like you'd want there to be like 6 guys fighting over that. It further inflates the price, and so right now that's why they're in the Middle East. I mean, Middle East is not just only Saudi Arabia and Abu Dhabi. Sorry, what is this? UAE rather. But you do have Qatar, you do have Kuwait.
Kuwait,
There's a lot of oil-rich nations there, that we can count in Santa Setu. Even Iran, you'd find that there is a sheikh there in Iran who is down to purchase the club. But I just want any of those individuals, because at least they won't be looking for a return on investment like these Americans are. So yeah, man. Right now, Jay, we just of course need to make the stopgap signings and then get new
okay,
owners.
How many signings do you want us to make now in January?
In Jan, in my ideal world,
so how many do you think we need for us to sustain? Because the thing is, as well, like as much as we won the past 3 games, we haven't played well, which is good because we're able to grind it out. But like you're saying, we're playing an Arsenal too, and Arsenal this season have been fucking amazing. We'll play, and the league is very unpredictable, dog. I mean, SC Everton drew against City, then they go get smacked 4-1. So the league is fluctuate, dog. You can't just because you beat Bournemouth today does not necessarily mean that you're gonna. It's crazy. So. And a lot of the teams, just remember, about Dalama Cup games as well. So they probably going to be well rested as well. So we can get a team anytime. I mean, look at Aston Villa, bro. When we played them, it was when Unai Emery's first game. He came and they blew us away.
And he trapped us. They outran us pretty much. They outran our midfield.
Exactly.
Our midfield, that's mobility was an issue there, and as well ball retention. I feel like it's improving, but we still need to get it there. Ten Hag hasn't gotten it to the levels that he'd like the ball retention to
be. But he can only do so much with what he has. Like I think with Wan-Bissaka, it just shows you he's able to improve a player, but only to a certain extent. We can't expect to be Sasa, McTominay will be a Casemiro. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah. It's not.
You know what I mean?
It's never.
It's just not going to happen. So yeah, like he can only do what he can to a certain level. And I think as we get better players or better quality players, the more we will also become better. What I'm liking though is the fact that within his first season, we are seeing tangible improvement, like
Yeah.
actual oibona, like which is not like
Yeah.
like it's there for everyone to see. So Utalo, beginning of the season, no one would have thought Guti would be like our main right back.
Dude, he's gonna be
No
one of
one.
the best in the world. I mean, this guy was benching Cancelo in the World Cup, for crying out loud, bro. So it just
You know what I
shows you
mean?
the levels of improvements. And I mean, to a point where even Real Madrid are knocking on the door, they're assessing his contract situation because Nazi, that's another problem that we are facing now. De Gea's contract runs out. Rashford's contract as well. Now it's running down. Even Dalot as well. We need to renew, especially for me, Dalot, man. We need to renew that kid's contract because Madrid are knocking. Because Carvajal is the right back and Babo to Carvajal. Maybe Katala is in the twilight of his career. So why not go for a guy who's because Dalot would flourish at Real Madrid. Let's be honest. Dalot would smash it in La Liga, bro, because it's less physical. Stylistically, he'd be playing with better players. I mean,
And
yes,
and also like it's in inverted commas less defensive work. Like he'll be more able to express himself going forward. Because I mean
yeah,
that's not about Alves. Like about Alves aren't like the greatest defenders. Like I mean in Spain you get they fullbacks are like guys who are going forward. You don't get your
correct.
traditional um be
Yeah, yeah,
meeting
yeah,
expectations just. Yeah, he's right. Melissa, you're right, dog. You're definitely right.
yeah,
But they're only
yeah,
meeting expectations because they've gradually improved over the season. Your expectations
yeah.
of them beginning of the season or after the first two games are not the same expectations you have of them now.
I mean, a lot of people were already questioning Ten Hag. I mean, because he was benching the goat. They were like, no, Ten Hag does not know what the fuck he's doing. But look now, things have changed. I mean, I still think that some people are still angry at Ten Hag that he treated Ronaldo the way he did. But it's
Dog, but
time the
Ronaldo also gave us
misses.
a fuck you, dog. You see what he did with the watch thing
Yeah,
as well. So
yeah,
he was only loyal to United because he was playing for United. That guy is
yeah.
loyal to himself. Because I'm a player like about Thierry Henry. As much as you leave Arsenal, you always have respect for Arsenal over. You know what I mean? Ronaldo does not seem like that
Yeah.
person. He's just like, you know what? I was contracted to them. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not there anymore. There's no more relations between the two, and I respect it. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying, like, but it's not one of those guys who he's like, yo, I played for this team, man. I'm gonna be loyal to it until. Anyway, though, I haven't answered my question. So, say realistic expectations of players that you think will sign this season or this
All
transfer
right,
window.
Jack.
We need
Yeah,
to
and this
sign. Yeah.
isn't okay. This isn't closing. Nah. I for one think we need to get midfielders. For me, that's the heartbeat of the team. Heart and
How many
lungs.
do we need?
Um, I'd get two in Jan and a striker. That's what I'd do. Two midfielders. Anti, this is from Jan. Jan is a very the
Difficult
players are
though.
not around. It's very hard to get players. But I'd get a striker or actually a player who can play in all three positions at the front. Let me just say that. A very versatile player. The one Wolves got, Cunha. I was surprised. Did you see they got Cunha from Atletico Madrid? This nigga's
But the thing about the
is
Premier League, I think I was watching
yeah.
some presenting show where they're like the Premier League's any team, not any, many teams in the Premier League are able to buy.
Yeah.
The Premier League is actually like the best in terms of financial
Yeah, it's
power,
lucrative.
the best out of the
Yeah.
5 leagues. So
Yeah.
they are able to buy players. I mean, about Kumbulla back in the days about Bojan going to Stoke, like it was a shock.
Yeah.
But now it's not
Exactly.
far-fetched for like West Ham, dog. West Ham is like sitting on like
Yeah.
15 or 16, but they got that guy who's starting for Brazil, you know?
Oh, Paqueta,
You know
who
what I mean?
went to the
So
wrong team.
yeah. So
He made a mistake.
it's not far-fetched for a team in the Premier League that's outside of the top 6 to get good quality players because they've got
Yeah.
financial power over the other leagues.
That is so true. That is so true. So for me, like I said, two midfielders and a striker.
And who
That's
are those
that's
two
just me.
midfielders then? Striker starting with
Damn.
Ososilo with Depay. Realistic
Yeah,
one. I'm
yeah,
talking about
yeah.
realistic, realistic.
Realistic and
Yeah.
people who are available. So I'd say okay. I'd say Depay. I'd say João Felix is realistic because he's on the market. It's
Yeah. So yeah.
possible. It's
So that's
possible for
realistic.
us
Yeah.
to get him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
That's a
then
realistic.
the last one, man. I'm not too sure who we can get as the last one. It should be a ball carrier, bro. Like that's where we struggle. In you see, that's why Frankie De Jong for me, that's someone who we can prioritize again. I don't mind us going in for him in the summer, but Frankie is you see a midfielder like Frankie is what we really really need in our midfield. Ball retention and press resistant, can carry the ball. And ball carrying does not necessarily mean that you run with the ball, but it's also breaking lines with simple passes. Just you being able to break a press and then playing a simple ball. That's what we that's the midfielder we need. It's like Fred. If you press Fred, Fred will give away the ball. And so for me, I feel like we need someone who could easily break the press by either running through it like a Kovacic, like De Jong. De Jong can actually do a Kovacic, but at the same time, he can also break the pace like a Thiago Alcantara with the killer pass. Yeah, because with Alcantara, he's not the most mobile, but Jaya's level and then two niggas gone. He's now, it opens up the midfield, and now he can just carry the ball nicely up front, maybe play a killer ball to Salah one-on-one goal, or play the pre-assist. Yeah, so we need a midfielder who can either play a pre-assist or assist in the final third. So yeah, that's from my standpoint, man.
Okay, cool.
When
I agree. I agree now. Which we definitely need a center forward, and I'm
Mhm.
I'm not stressing because I feel like we will get one. Might not be the one like you're saying, which the fan wants
we're
or the
gonna we're
long-term
gonna
solution.
complain.
Yeah, but we
Yeah,
definitely do need one, you know. And I think we will get one because the top four is also not guaranteed, you know. So
it's not.
we
It's
need to push
not
to
King.
cement it, you know. And then
Mm-hmm.
Mina, I would go for a defensive midfielder for
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not a fan of McTominay, you know, and Fred
Yeah,
playing as a PM.
yeah,
You know, especially now that we used to a Casemiro level
and
type player. I feel like if he's
mm-hmm.
not in the team, like we can't drop that far.
Hey,
So Mina,
we
I would
can't,
go
bro.
for a DM. And a DM realistically would probably be someone like maybe who's 21, 22, who we like, you know what, we're buying you now, but you're not gonna play the next 2, 3 seasons, but at least we see the potential in you. You know, whereas in 2 seasons time or 3 seasons time, when Casemiro's legs are not whatever, then you're like, okay, you'll be the guy who replace him. So I think someone's like 22, 23, or someone who's like 30, 31, who's willing to be a backup for a Casemiro type of thing.
Yeah,
And then the other position I think we need, actually, you're right, in midfield. We need like a midfield player,
yeah,
box to box player, a proper box to box player.
yeah. Proper
I
box to
just
box,
can't think
bro.
of
Because
any though, but yeah.
it's like we remember with United, we needed a Michael Carrick replacement. We finally got it in Casemiro, someone who is a DM, a proper DM. Now we need a Scholes type midfielder,
But do we even have a
and
box to box midfielder at United?
it's Fred, but Fred is not press resistant. Fred is good in the second half. Have you noticed even against when Nottingham Forest, he came in and he scored the goal. Fred brings energy in the second half because he's got three lungs. He can run for a very long time. So from a mobility standpoint, in the second half, Fred is a perfect squad player. I have no issues with him being a squad player, but we need someone who is levels, bro. That's why Frankie, for me, Frankie is a Frankie type player is essential for us to take it to the next level. Because at the end of the day, yes, right now we're in the top four race. We trying to solidify our position there. But once we get into Champions League, we need to start knocking, because I feel like we are capable of knocking from next season for the title. We are more
Mara,
than
a,
capable.
a, a good
Yeah.
test for us also will be the Barcelona game, home and away.
Yeah. Yeah. You see that for me, I have zero expectations in that game because we're both in the mud, At least Barca,
No,
they
no, no.
at the top
I know they're
of
also
La
in the mud,
Liga.
though, but they are
Mm.
Barcelona,
Yeah.
and as
Big
much as
team.
they're in the mud,
Mm. Mm-hmm.
I think they'll come to the party. Like when we
They
drew them
will.
back then, I was much
Yeah.
more stressed than I am now. Now I'm seeing a bit
Yeah.
more progress. So
Mm-hmm.
those will be good indications, Uguti. Where are okay,
Where we
sharp, they're also in
are.
the mud, but like,
Mm.
where are we? Where we can gauge
But
because
they favorites, my king. If you look at Barca's
no.
squad and you look at our squad,
I'm not taking that away from you. I'm just saying, Guti,
they are the favorites.
but that's
Mm.
what I'm saying. With that'll be a big test for us.
Yeah.
Guti. And the Frankie De Jong will be there as well. I don't know if he'll start or not, but like, then
Yeah.
we can start putting and placing our players with okay, this guy. I
Mm.
mean, because they've got good kids. They've got Pedro. They've got good players.
Yeah. I know they really do. They really do. They really have really good players. I mean, and especially Lewandowski as well. He's very, very dangerous in Europe. So, yeah, man, it's gonna be an interesting game. For me, that game, like I said, we are not favorites. I don't want United fans to think that they're favorites, but we are capable, more than capable, of beating Barcelona. We can do Morocco and beat them the way Morocco beat Belgium. We're more than capable of doing that. So yeah, Lamik, I feel like we've covered everything that we needed to discuss. I mean, we're an hour and 6 minutes in, bruh. Do you want to say anything in closing, perhaps?
Nah, maybe the one thing in closing is just
Yeah.
that like I'm so happy. Like, Izola, one of my boys, young Foynela, is like, hey dog, I've got
Mm,
he had power outages in his hood, and he's like, yo dog,
mm.
I wanna watch the game. So he's asking me like, where can he
Yeah.
watch the game? But he's an Arsenal fan.
Yeah.
And I was like, dog, I would have offered you to come to my crib and watch the game, but I mean I'm watching my game. You know what I mean? The fact that I was actually
Yeah.
confident enough to tell a neighbor, hey dog, as
Yeah.
no, like and not in a bad way. Like just to say like, dog,
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch my game. Like I'm actually looking
Yeah.
forward now to like actually watch my team's game. Like,
And
cause like it
yeah.
had been like a season or 2 seasons ago. I don't like Antoine didn't come through. So pay game alako, you know what I mean? Like I would have been willing to
Yeah.
accommodate him, but like, I was really like, hey dog, I know your team is doing well, but right now I want to watch my team. So I'm just so happy that I'm actually
Yeah.
looking forward to watching the team. As much as we haven't been
Yeah.
playing great, I just enjoy watching the team, dog. Like I'm so happy.
Yeah.
It's yeah,
Yeah.
I'm happy. Like I'm seeing the progress, and yeah, I
Yeah.
think if anything to go by this season, if we can keep hold of Ten Hag and we change into the background and get the players, I feel like in the next 3 seasons, because this is Arteta's fourth season. Look what he's doing them in the fourth season. I feel like
Yeah.
maybe next season, if he gets another 1, 2 good bodies, the third
Mm.
season we could be
Ah.
we could be back at it, back at it.
Shaban, singabe sesishaba sesithatha ama-Champions League, boy. You see
Yeah,
with
dog. I
me?
mean, the
Yeah,
way we're going right now, I feel like next
yeah.
season, if he gets another 2 bodies, then we can hopefully
Mm,
challenge next season, and then in his third
correct.
season, hopefully
Mhm,
win or push whoever's gonna win it to the
mm.
end, and also start competing in Champions League again as well.
Exactly,
But
because
if
even
you
no
the project now
Ranick.
looks, the project you got 10 how born like ebonakala ukuthi it's someone
Yeah.
where like Arsenal fans last season this time they did not see Arteta's project like it
Mm-hmm.
was just you know what I mean. So with us, if we can compare with Arteta, with like at some point Arsenal fans didn't even believe in this guy, and look what he's been able to
Mm-hmm.
do. See now that the people actually believe in our guy. If we give him the time, I feel like
Correct.
he can get us back to the top.
I know he definitely can. I believe he can more. He can do it for us. We can get there to the top. And I mean, even Reinik said that we need open heart surgery, but it won't take long because he knows the power that United have. I just want new owners more than anything. For me, if we get new owners, that would be
New
my
owners like a new signing for us, basically.
for me, dog. That's the ultimate signing, bro. That's like us signing prime uh remember when we was linked with Ronaldinho,
Yeah.
that's like yo, bro, I really want new owners because, bro, we have a good manager for a change. We've got someone who's actually serious and who is very structured. And if we can get new owners coupled with a dope director of football, you know what I mean? You never know, bro. Like we could be back, bro. Just in 2 3 seasons, we could be back to being a top side, bro. A
Yeah.
team where we are feared. Champions League, we now favorites, bro. Because I want us to be like that again, bro. League, Manchester United are favorites to win the title. And as well, what's nice is that if we have new owners, when Newcastle also starts spending, we won't be as fearful because we now know okay, now it's we've got a very good coach, we've got structure behind the coach.
And
Like,
also, we won't be buying our players just
go.
because of Ikama or because they want
Yeah.
money. Yeah.
I mean, that's what I want. I want us to sign James, bro. James that we've never like uncut diamonds, bro. Like that's what I feel like we need to, get under Ten Hag. Like get players who the fan base
But
would be like, who the fuck is this guy?
I
And then the
get
guy
you, dog. But the thing about
comes with beats.
an uncut diamond doesn't come in and change the team now. They need like 2 or 3 seasons to prove, like a Marcellinus Arsenal. They need like at least 2 seasons, whatever. But for them to get that time, not to feel the pressure, the squad needs to be good enough. Which we put him wherever, and then like Saka, dog. Saka 2 seasons ago in the Saka the dog. Saka now is like he jams, or he balls. But had Saka been at a Chelsea, he probably would have developed as fast as he has at Arsenal. So those uncut James we sign, like about Dalo, who's at Southern whatever, it goes on to the Kazantana, you're not good enough for us now, go on loan, whatever, or we'll give you whatever, but we know when the time is right for you, you're going to be good.
Yeah, no doubt, Njaya. Mano, I see Vale Lapo King. I feel like
sure, dog.
more than everything. Yeah, thank you so much for availing yourself. Thank you so much, guys. Please like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel. Help a brother out. This is Easy Sport, and we are peace.
Sure, James. Bye.
Sure.